Mm-hmm.
La, 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 la. I never doubted you. I was just curious. I'm still learning.
That'll be fun.
Is that enough claps? Yeah, let me clap, 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 clap.
Yeah, that's enough claps.
Hold on. I'm an idiot.
You're not an idiot.
So this is 16. This is episode 16.
I think.
16.
Yeah, it is 16.
So you can tell that I was yelling at a kid because my voice is all super gravelly now.
16.
Welcome to episode 16.
Yeah, are we changing up the intro on episode 16?
Welcome in a world.
Oh,
16 episodes.
Welcome to the intro of this podcast. I'm just going to have music playing on the background while this is just like random.
I like it. It's got to be like the cantina music from Star Wars.
Yeah. How does that go again? Yep, that's what it is.
So good. It's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever it is for you guys. Welcome to another episode 16 actually, of 35mm Life. I'm your host, Dejay, with my amazing co-host, Mike.
Hello.
Every time.
I changed it.
You did. I wasn't expecting this. Out of right field.
I'm going to come out with I'm going to say it in a different language next time.
Konnichiwa.
You took mine.
I knew it. Japanese, bro.
Yeah.
Got you. It's going to sound better when you do it anyway.
I'm going to put a big explosion under there.
The explosion will be your guys' head being like,
oh my gosh.
mind being blown.
Truth.
How awesome it's going to be. So,
Episode 16.
episode 16. That's crazy.
Look at that.
Look at us go. Look at us go. So we told you guys before, we record a lot of these episodes preemptively. That way, if Mike gets sick or I get sick or we travel or anything like that and we're not able to record an episode, no big deal. We have a library to fall back on.
Correct.
We just posted episode 9 last Monday. This last Monday.
Oh my gosh.
And we're at 16 now.
Look at
So
that.
we have a couple months built up, which is great. And I'm very, very happy about that. So it's going.
It's
wonderful.
going wonderfully.
And by this time, this will be our 6th episode into
Video.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yep.
Which we have a logo for soon.
Yes.
Dope. Mike told me about it. It's super awesome.
So my cousin,
Huge shout out.
Her Instagram is Rice Fox,
Which
is
I love, by the way.
so sick. She is a graphic designer, artist, paints murals. We've done the Chalk Art Festival together. Such a great artist, and we're family. So, plus
Bonus.
we're gonna have our photo logo done soon. Hopefully within this week. She's been commissioned for a lot of stuff, so she's been pretty busy. But we came up with an idea when we were sitting at a coffee shop. I don't know if you want me to explain the idea, or should we leave it as a surprise?
Yeah, let's make it a surprise.
Okay.
Yeah, because it'll be for the channel. But just know that I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely a combination of all three of our ideas, and I think that's pretty epic. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. So that was the only thing that was keeping me from making the YouTube channel. One, I have to make the email so that if people email the channel, it goes to my inbox or your inbox. And then the other, wanting to have the logo. But after that, the YouTube channel can go live.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, are we posting these on our channels as well? So we'll have it like on all three, or just
I think it's going to be
the main one?
dedicated on one.
The main one?
And I
Okay.
think we're also going to talk about doing like an Instagram dedicated to the pod too. That way you can follow that. That's where we can do questions, or we can do like little shorts.
And the competitions as well. That's
Yeah.
where we do that makes sense.
Yep.
Oh,
So
perfect.
one platform for everything 35mm to life, which is cool that we'll actually have like a platform for everything that's associated with this podcast.
Here's the question though. Do we make a Vero?
I mean, we talk about it all the time. We should. Imagine if that Vero gets more following than our main channels.
There's a decent chance with Instagram going to videos. There's a really good chance that
Oh,
a
true.
Vero could take over. But we're making videos now.
Right.
How does that work?
Look at that.
Look at.
I'm gonna break the fourth wall. Just stare deathly into the camera like Jim Halper from The Office. Okay, I stopped.
That's so funny.
I'm gonna zoom in, power zoom right into my face.
Yeah, we got the resolution to do it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be epic. I want to hit all the buttons. Okay.
It's okay. And sorry, like I know in Callie's episode, please disregard all my screen stuff. I swear I was not looking at anything inappropriate, but my screen's just here.
Yes, he was. He was staring at naked trumpets.
My only what do we call it? Only pics. Only what?
Only lens.
Only lens.
He was staring.
We just talked about this, and I already forgot.
He was staring at naked trumpet pictures. I literally watched him mouth the words, "Look at that brass, though.
Look at that brass, though.
That brass, though.
That brass thick."
Meanwhile, me, a
2Cs.
drummer, you just like to bang things. Just make noise. Sometimes to a tempo, sometimes not. You know,
I like to bang things, and I like to look at brass. Brass and banging.
Brass.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this the other day. Air drumming, air guitar, air sax. Mom got you. Air trumpet, air flout. Dad. I feel like they're all equally weird. If you're sitting at an airport and you're rocking out to a song and you play any of those instruments and you do it, I feel like people are gonna stare.
Are you in your car? Are you a steering wheel drummer?
Oh, not just in my car. Like you can ask.
Oh,
Rosa.
everywhere.
Yeah, like you can ask Rosa. Like when we drive around in the car, and like we hold hands or do whatever. Like I'm constantly whatever the beat is, I'm doing it with my fingers. Like and most of the time I have like this is my hi-hat, this is the snare. Yeah, and like my thumb's
That's
is
incredible.
The bass. It's in my mind and it keeps me active. Like, and I can't listen to music whether it's in a movie or on the radio without analyzing the drums specifically, the general tone, and the lyrics. That's what I like to do. But drums are always first. I memorize drum beats to songs or basic beats to songs before words. Like people are like, have you heard the lyric from the song? I'm like, no. And like, you've known this song for like 17 years. So
yeah, I'm a lyrical master artist.
You?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, I think at work today, somebody just like words and then one word, I'll think of a song straight with it. It's kind of.
So you're saying you want
talent.
to freestyle on one of our episodes?
No, I don't want to freestyle. I just can name a song with the word in it.
That's a very unique talent. I kind of like that, actually. I'm trying to think of one now.
I don't know.
Firecracker.
That's a hard one.
That is hard. Well, I was going to say Firework, but that's pretty easy. Yeah,
Katy Perry, yeah. Anyways.
Shout out to Katy Perry. You are awesome. Sometimes I feel like a trash bag floating in the wind.
Oh, nice.
That's all I'm saying. I probably got those lyrics wrong.
Not what's it called? Whisper in the Wind? Not Whisper in the Wind. What is that Kansas song called?
Dust in the Wind.
Dust in the Wind. Whisper in the Wind.
Yeah. Whispers. Photography.
Yeah. I was talking about my cousin's 50th birthday that I shot.
Yes.
They had a DJ with lasers. And I'm terrified.
Yes.
With that situation. If you are hiring a photographer, to those that are going to be hiring for events, please communicate with a DJ. Try not to have lasers. It's fun and all to look at, but photographers and for equipment, our safety, dangerous.
So
if you don't know how it works, we'll have DJ
or you
take it over.
But I was going to say, ironically enough, we had, when I was working at the store, we had somebody come in and she follows me on Instagram. She's an amazing photographer, super sweet lady. She was shooting a wedding and the DJ had all the lasers going on and she took the lens off and she went to go put the new lens on and the shutter blind didn't close because it was a DSLR but the mirror was locked up.
Oh,
so the laser, there's two lasers that ran straight across it. One purple, one green. Why do I know what colors they were? Because those are the colors that were etched perfectly symmetrical, parallel with themselves into her sensor.
Yep.
And once something like that hits your sensor and that happens to your sensor, it will be in every one of your pictures. Now, there's two things you can do. One, you can get it replaced. Generally, a sensor is going to cost a third of what your camera costs, depending on which one it is. Mm-hmm. It's going to cost a lot of money. It's also going to take a lot of time. The other thing, sorry, had something in my throat. The other thing you could do is go through every one of your pictures and edit the line out. But if we're talking thousands of pictures at a wedding, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
That you don't. That's not worth your time. So, yeah, it's interesting, and that is something I think we should talk about in this episode. Is a lot of photographer mistakes that we see people do that we do that people may not think about, and that's one of them. Lasers affecting your sensor. It was really, really good.
That's so scary because like when the guy brought out the lasers, I was just like avoid, try to not shoot the lasers. Like keep away from shooting in that direction. And sometimes when you're shooting in a lighted area, especially since DJs are always just one-dimensional lighting, they're lit in a corner shooting one direction, not everywhere else. Right. You have to kind of play around that, and in certain areas, certain venues, you have to shoot almost 360. You have to walk the venue.
Right.
So you don't want to be shooting just 180 degrees out of that because you want to capture every moment. Mm-hmm. But for our sake and the safety of our equipment, we need to shoot in that to protect our equipment from getting damaged.
Right.
Which sucks.
It does.
Because sometimes the background on that end is going to be worse than where the DJ is.
Yeah, there's going to be times where it's going to be impossible for you to protect your camera in all aspects, especially the interior of them. When it, like for the sensor with the lasers, so those pixels, and the sensor that's actually reading the light and stuff, they're literally blown out. So if you guys have ever seen like an LCD TV, and you'll get like that line, the dead pixel line.
Yes,
that's the same thing that happens, but it's on your sensor. Yep. And there's much more to it. It's not exactly the same, but I'm just trying to give you guys an idea behind it.
Right.
And it can literally total your camera. I mean, it's depending on how bad it is, the camera's unusable, and you have to go get it fixed. So there's definitely things you should do to try to prevent that. Right. And again, like Mike said, great point. Talk to the DJ first and be like, hey man, just so you know, your lasers could damage my camera. So you could ask him to just do like the lasers in like one part of the floor, and you shoot another part of the floor. I know you know this. It's for them. Right. Or ask him like, hey, if you could just keep the lasers going above head level or more towards the ground, and then when you're taking pictures, you aim the camera at the ground, and there's
really smart. Yeah.
But there's and those
lasers are really what bring life to the party too. Yeah. It's a lot of lighting. It's really fun. Sometimes you can get some. Yeah, I'll do my cha-cha slide again.
1,000 listeners. 1,000 listeners. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it's dangerous to have that, and you want to work. You have to work with every person that's at that venue. At weddings, you're gonna have a DJ that was hired that you probably don't know.
Yeah,
you might get a videographer that you don't know. You're gonna get the bride. You're gonna get the groom. You're gonna get guests. A lot of people are requesting certain photos. Like, there's a lot of aspects to playing around. But those lasers can be damaging to your equipment.
Damaging to my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at my glasses.
Look at my glasses.
Right? Like we got some specks on our faces.
Thick.
We are a spectacle.
We are a spectacle. Wrong one.
That was the right one.
No, I like this one. I thought it was funny.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate that.
Punny jokes are... I love puns.
I have so many more. Some of them I can't tell on the podcast, though.
Save.
So we were talking about this too. Sidetrack. Sorry. We were talking about doing some shorts kind of reactions to photography videos or music videos. Really, doesn't really matter. And like a first person to laugh loses type thing.
Yeah.
I think it'd just be something interesting for us, and we're gonna lobby you guys for topics and things like that, or if you guys have like a certain video about photography that you guys have seen that you thought was cool, or a music video or a movie clip or anything like that, and we haven't seen it, we'll do a genuine like reaction to it. I actually got a very large amount of feedback from people asking for reaction stuff, so I think that'd be pretty cool.
Very trendy.
Yeah. Well,
we go with the trends.
I mean, we're rocking the double white shirts right now.
Double whites. Again,
Dark Sport.
It's a weightlifting brand, which I would love to be sponsored by, because I need to give it my one sponsor. Dark Sport, please sponsor me.
#Dark Sport.
#Dark Sport. I'm gonna tag them in this post, like we shouted you in the podcast,
right?
To our tens
of
listeners.
To give them like their own little section in our description.
Dark Sport. Here you go. Anyways,
could you imagine if they called you? We heard it.
That'd be so cool.
Just some random person from their company.
And then they'd ask me to do photos and video for them. Oh,
perfect.
The dream.
There you go. And then
I don't have to work at Purple Gym anymore. I can get public access to really nice gyms.
I really need to start going back to Purple Gym.
Yeah. I was going to go today, and then I was just like, nah, I'm too lazy.
Yeah. Okay. So other things about cameras that you guys should think about that you may not have thought about. Batteries. There's a lot of people that I've seen in the past that have a camera from their grandma or their parents or something, and the battery's never been taken out of the camera. And especially if it's like double A's,
Yes.
triple A batteries, mostly double A's. If you don't take the
Or the
batteries
little
out,
short ones that go in the film ones. The
Oh,
one
yeah,
that
those
goes in the
things,
A3s.
the
Or
ones that are
35?
becoming harder and harder to find.
Yeah.
The 123s or the 125s. So double A's specifically, if you have a camera that takes double A batteries and you found this camera from a long time ago, be very careful when you open up the battery compartment, because more than likely those battery cells have exploded, and that white powder that's in there, if you get it in your eyes or you, I don't know, lick it. And I'm saying that for all you people that decided Tide Pods were fucking food. Okay. If you decide to lick this Scarface, you're going to go to the hospital.
It's the wrong white powder.
It's the wrong white powder, bro. Okay. Sugar is the right white.
That's the right one.
Yeah, I don't know where you guys were. I mean, I mentioned
we're
Scarface.
talking about sugar.
But yeah, just be very careful. AA batteries do, and I have a bunch of AA batteries in my closet, which the closet is cool and dry.
Mm-hmm.
But a few of the batteries, the cell just popped, and there was a bit of residue, so I had to clean the bag out, remove the offending battery, and the rest of them were pretty much okay. But at the same time, in my mind, if that one popped, the other ones probably aren't too far behind.
The white powder seller.
The white powder, yeah. The dealer.
The
dealer had to go. Yeah, batteries can explode.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm talking to you, Samsung.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. How many people, you have an iPhone, obviously, right?
Uh-huh.
How many of your friends are like, oh, Samsung is so good, it's the best ever. And you're like, yeah, how many times did my phone blow up in my pocket? 0. Right? Like,
that was an ongoing joke forever.
Forever. It still is. I mean, this is like 6 years ago.
Yeah. It's been a while.
But I'm pretty sure Samsung is the first phone company to be banned from airlines for like a year.
Which is crazy to think about.
Which, yeah, guys, Samsung's great. I'm proud of you. Good job.
Maybe that's why we don't carry lithium batteries onto planes anymore.
Jeez. Well, crazy, right? Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk that batteries explode?
It's not, just so you know, I'm not saying this, like I'm not being like a trumpet player and being an elitist and saying that I'm better than everybody. But I do have brand loyalty. I like Apple, okay? Sue me.
I mean, yeah.
All of our stuff is Apple except for the mics.
Everything in here is the same except for a tripod.
Even Callie had 2 iPhones.
Yeah.
She has one for work and one for not work.
She gets the most shout outs on the show.
You know what's funny? She does. Is I had to save both of her phone numbers in my contact book.
Yeah. Did you say Callie 1, Callie 2?
No, one's Callie and the other's Callie work. And it's because sometimes, like, if one of her phone freaks out, she'll text me from the other. And I don't want to just be like a random phone number. So yeah, she has 2 phones. And I know from the time that we've hung out, I know one of those phones is just constantly going off. Text messages, emails. Can you take my pictures, please? I love you so much. That kind of stuff, you know.
Take my picture, please.
Take my picture. Take my money.
Yeah. Batteries?
Yep, batteries.
What do we use in our cameras? Native, or can you go off-brand?
That is an amazing question. And we do get asked that a lot. Me personally, I go native.
Mm-hmm.
For DSLR cameras or older cameras, it's okay to go off-brand depending on the off-brand. Do not get Wasabi Power. You will regret life.
Yeah.
ProMaster makes a good secondary battery,
Yeah.
off-brand battery. It's really the only one that I can like.
ProMaster makes great secondary items.
They do.
That are not like lenses or bodies.
Right. Or tripods.
Yeah. They make amazing memory cards.
Yep.
And battery. I think I have
accessories.
Battery in my camera right now.
Yeah.
As a ProMaster.
And they're so yeah, it's really the only company that I would be willing to put my name on, saying yes, they are a decent battery. They're not as good as native, but they're pretty good. Now, DSLR is different because they don't use as much battery power as a mirrorless camera do. So the ones we're recording right now, these are Sony A7 IVs. They're mirrorless. The biggest thing about battery draw from these cameras is that not only is the screen a digital view, but when you look through the viewfinder, that is also a digital view. So it drains the battery even faster. So if you use an off-brand battery for your new mirrorless cameras, there's a good chance that it's not going to retain the power as long, and it's also just not going to perform as well. But Sony batteries, they're good. They're expensive, obviously, but
with the equipment, yeah, it's worth it.
But me personally, I would go for batteries, just batteries. I would go native. But there's nothing wrong going secondary as long as you find a good company. Like I said, do not do Wasabi Power. Wasabi Power, if you were listening to this, you guys make cheap batteries. I'm sorry. Fix it, and I'll say something better.
Maybe they will. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows who this will reach?
taking a note out of Jared Pollin's book there for a second.
Oh, Jared Pollin. We haven't
knows.
talked trash about him in a long time.
Oh, man.
Pro knows photos.
Well, I figure since we mentioned Peter McKinnon so many times, it's about time to bring up Jared again. So
Jared.
now there might be a lot of fans of Jared Pollin that listen to the podcast, and it's playful banter. Like if he were sitting next to us, I'm sure we would talk smack back and forth. He seems like that kind of a person.
Yeah.
In the profession, the industry though, like there are a lot of photographers out there, but really for the people that are dedicated to it, it's kind of a small world.
Yes.
And I mean, look at how small it was with Callie and Bryce.
Right.
She was in his video, and it blew my mind when I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, because Callie, like I said, she doesn't like being in front of the camera, but this 17-year-old kid has enough skill. She's like, all right, bro.
Right,
yeah.
And that photo's insane.
Nailed it.
And shout out to Bryce. We're gonna have him on, I think next week.
Yeah,
coming in May.
That's right.
Sometime in May.
Yeah.
We got a couple guest spots coming up. We have a guest coming in on the next pod. And yeah. I
have a couple others lined up afterwards. We're just trying to finalize dates. Patrick and Kaylee. Or
and
Carly, sorry.
And
I'm so sorry, Carly. Don't yell at me.
I had a couple more. Michael and Alyssa.
Nice.
A couple more of my friends too.
Together or one at a time?
One at a time.
Cool. Yeah, it's going to be hard to shoot 4 people in.
Ooh, it's going to be fun. I mean, we have the capabilities to shoot 4 people in here, but we might have to rearrange and...
I'd get the phones out and stuff.
Yeah. We'll figure that out. What other accessories do you find, like either a necessity or like things that could get damaged within like your going out and shootings? Do you think that a camera strap or a camera grip thing is a necessity?
I don't think it's I don't think it's a necessity, but I can tell you right now from experience, it is amazing. Yeah. So because I had my 5D Mark IV, so if I was shooting sports or something and I had the 5D Mark IV and that 7200, it was a pretty solid. Like I don't know the exact number, but I say it's probably around like 10, 11 pounds, which doesn't seem like a lot, but over the course.
Doesn't go to the gym, but I'm gonna flex on camera.
Over the course of several hours, bro, it's like a ton. Yeah. And if you do it right, you're able to literally open your hand and the camera just stays there. But it's to relax your hand. Like this right here, this is the size of a 5D Mark IV. Yeah. It's muscle memory. If I die, this is what my hand is going to be. Not if I die. When I die, this is what my hand is going to look like for sure. Now the Sony A7 IV is a bit smaller.
Yeah, it's a little bit
smaller. But every time. But no, straps are. I think they're useful. But if you're not using them, they're in the way. Right? Yeah. I do not like neck straps. For a lot of reasons. This is gonna sound petty, but I hate that sweat that builds up in the back of your neck when you're wearing a camera strap. Okay.
We're both big dudes and we probably sweat really easily. So
I am a furnace. Yeah. Rosa can vouch for that. You're so warm all the time. Like,
I am,
burning up right now.
Warm Bodies.
Yeah.
Great movie, by the way. If you've never seen it,
I haven't. Is it good?
It's good.
Oh man, I wanted to see it. It was such kind of like a unique, because if I remember right, that came out around the same time as some of the Twilight movies.
2014,
2015. And it was like a fresh take on
Nicholas Hoult thing.
Yeah. I want to see that stuff.
It's a zombie love story. Pretty cool.
Which is it's unique. Yeah. It is. Yeah, I like it.
Love it. What were you talking about?
Oh, the straps.
Yeah.
Yeah, the straps are good. I personally like Peak Design for their accessories. Same. Now, if I do wear a strap, like a neck strap, I like Peak Designs. We'll put a picture of the one that we have here for you guys to see. They're good because they have quick releases. I can literally just pop it on, pop it off. And I have them on right now. Same. On both of ours. But that's like, I've had my strap get caught on like another person on a tree branch. The wind is flapping. It's a small sail when you're trying to do a long exposure on a tripod, and it creates vibration. There's a lot of reasons why I do not like straps. Are they useful? Sure. But if I fall with the strap on or not, I do the same thing. I coddle the camera like a baby. So the strap doesn't matter.
No, you don't get hurt, baby. No. I go down with it.
I have scars on my body right now from I could show you from protecting people's cameras, not mine, other people's cameras. Yeah. So yeah, and tripods. Tripods are the one thing. If you guys are trying to save money here, like this is like $20 cheaper, this is half off, blah whatever. If you guys save all that money, that's great. But the one thing you should never skimp on is your tripods, and the reason for that is because all that money that you just saved on your accessories and stuff for your cameras. If you buy a shit tripod and the wind goes
that tips it over,
and it tips it over, you just lost all that investment you just made for yourself.
Right. You don't need a fancy strap for your camera.
No.
Like I know people that invest in like really cool design straps for like $150.
Yeah.
You really don't need that.
No, it just looks cool.
It just looks cool.
Yeah.
If you're going for aesthetics and you have a lot of money, sure, fine, whatever.
Sure, why not? If you have money to just throw, you can give it to us or buy straps, whatever.
I'm a strap man. I'm a stack man. I'm a sax man.
Sorry.
Stupid soundboard. Why did we ever discover this thing?
Joel, thank you for telling me that.
Oh, I know. Straps are good for video. If you extend that whole thing out, instant stabilizer.
Like a stabilizing rig, yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, boom, save money on stabilizing things.
That's
just
a good
get
point.
that tight on your neck, boom.
It's a very good point.
If you're really lazy like I am, sometimes I just let it hang and I just sit there. Gosh, this is going to be a dirty episode.
Hey, ladies, you like what you see? My eyes are up here.
I am single.
He is single. That's right.
I like straps and I let it hang.
And he goes to the gym.
And I go to the gym. Dark Sports sponsor me. That isn't the greatest.
So funny. What if they listen to like, we should call him, and they just do that part, they're like,
never mind.
It's not gonna happen. You
Stop
sponsor
wearing my
yourself.
clothes. The guy that runs it, his name's Michael. So I got a connection.
There are Michaels everywhere.
There's Michaels everywhere.
Oh, man.
Love it. I gotta love all the Michaels.
My name is still unique. I will keep it.
DJ.
Yeah. What's the spelling that makes it unique, though? With the hyphen.
D-E.
It's just weird. Hyphen. J-A-Y.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, don't skimp on a tripod.
Yeah, definitely not. I
both
don't mind.
Have what are these tripods called?
ProMaster.
ProMasters.
Yep. Well, so it's funny.
ProMaster.
So I used to have a I cannot remember the name of the company. It's a very difficult name to say. It's an Asian company. They make really good quality stuff. Shirai, I think it's called. Anyway, I had that tripod for a long time. It was a travel tripod like yours.
Mm-hmm.
But ProMasters just does those better. Aaron was sick and tired of seeing my travel tripod that I had.
Yeah.
Because he's like, it's gonna break. Bro, that's not a banger right there, bro. You gotta fix it. So he gave me that thing.
That thing's a banger.
That could be Exhibit A in a murder mystery.
That thing's huge.
It's massive, and but it still has the monopod leg detachable. It's got little red accents on it, but it works really, really good, and it has the hook on the bottom. If you guys have seen the hook on the bottom of the center pole on a tripod, it's actually for your bags.
Yep.
Or you could,
it's a weight.
Hang anything from it, and that gives you. It pulls the center of gravity down closer to the earth, and it makes the legs a little bit more stable. It's just a good idea. I hang my bag from mine all the time if I'm out shooting, even if there's not like
super smart.
Yeah.
Bit my lip. That's why that word "smart" came out super weird. Smart.
That's so smart. Like Sid the Sloth.
Yeah.
So a decent price range for a tripod that you're going to be looking for is going to be about $200.
Yeah.
If you go, you can find decent ones for $150. You can find used ones for $150. Just make sure everything is there and then it works well. But if anything at $100 or below, just don't expect the best quality. It might still work just fine, but just don't expect the quality. Or save up, spend the extra $100.
Yes.
Get something a bit more up there. Yep. It's worth it, especially if you have heavy cameras.
Yep. And then memory cards.
Memory cards. Oh, that's
huge.
Actually, the biggest thing about that for me, so a lot of people like SanDisk, and there's nothing wrong with SanDisk. They're an amazing company. As a memory card, they are dope.
Yep.
However,
we're going to go to ProMaster.
Yes.
ProMaster cards. Yep.
Because my camera that's shooting Mike is using Velocity 256 gig blue ProMaster cards, and they're about $200 each. But they read and write insanely fast.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for video. I use it for pictures too, because if it's good for video, it's
great for pictures.
More than better for pictures.
And I'm using the orange. I think they're the 128.
The Ruggeds.
The Ruggeds.
Yeah, those things are super dope. And Ruggeds are shockproof, weatherproof. And if you guys are wondering what shockproof has to do with memory cards, when you drop your camera or your camera falls and hits a rock or whatever, sometimes your battery or your camera can send like one last little charge of electricity. It's electronics that could happen.
Right.
And that's enough to fry your card.
Yep. So that's why like investing in a stable tripod. Yep. If you're shooting long exposure at night, investing in a stable tripod.
Yep.
Those memory cards, Ruggeds, be great, especially if you have any damaged equipment.
Yep. And they have lifetime warranty, so you can if one gets corrupted or damaged, you just send it and they give you a brand new one.
So good.
It's amazing.
The speed on the cards too really matter.
Yes.
I think you want the ones that say 10 on what is that called? The little circle number.
I have
the circle number.
We'll put a picture of the SD card.
Yes. One that says 10. There's ones that say 3, but this is that time where you say invest in the quality. You don't need a lot of memory cards. You need the quality of the memory card.
Right. Because the reading and writing of the cards. So like,
maybe that's not what I'm talking about.
So, no, you're talking about the class.
Yes, the class.
Like class 10.
Yes.
Like, so yeah, the circle 10.
The SanDisk.
So this is, so this is an old SanDisk card, this yellow one. And that's one of my like super backup cards. The reading and writing on these cards are important. So the reading is different from the writing, obviously. That's why they're two different speeds. Your card is going to be writing the information. That's where the writing comes from, and then reading it from the card to the computer. So those speeds are really important. So if you take pictures and you're having a hard time, especially like with that R5 that I have, we're talking like 60 megabytes per picture.
Right.
And that takes a long time to upload. But with the high-speed reader, because the reader is also important, with the high-speed reader that I have from ProGrade, you guys are amazing, and those cards that I have, I can unload an entire photo shoot in about 30 seconds.
Which is super nice.
Which is insane for like 400 or 500 pictures at that size. It's insane. So, well, actually, that minute I think the last time I checked was like it was just over a minute.
Right.
But that's still insanely fast. Now, SanDisk. So these cards, like these rugged memory cards he's talking about, they have serial numbers on the bottom of them. SanDisk doesn't have that. And the unfortunate thing about that is that there are people out there, and you suck. Okay. There are people out there that are counterfeiting these SanDisk memory cards.
Oh my god.
They make absolute crap memory cards, and then they slap a SanDisk sticker on it. And the thing is, people are like, well, but it's got to be vetted, and they check it. Yeah, okay, cool. Do you know how many millions of memory cards Amazon goes through?
Right.
Or Adorama? Of course, Adorama actually doesn't do that because they do all their in-house stuff, which is great. But Amazon, if you order SanDisk cards from Amazon, they have no way of knowing if that is a legitimate SanDisk card or if it's like
counterfeit.
Right, exactly, like the Walmart brand.
Yeah.
And that is why a lot of the higher end memory cards you guys find out there are going to have the serial numbers on them, because that's a way for them to track or prove that that is actually one of their cards. Now, SanDisk could catch on, or the people that are faking it could catch on and start putting those on there too. But just know that, like, I really want you guys to do the research and make sure that the SanDisk card that you're buying is going to be a SanDisk card. Because if you buy an actual SanDisk card, gold. They're amazing. They're super good. But that's also why I like ProMaster now, because
the serial numbers is security on it too.
Every time. Yeah.
Every time.
Jeez.
But what we're really trying to say is, like, it is going to be an investment, but it's going to last you longer than anything cheap. So if you invest in a heavy duty tripod, that's going to last you a lifetime.
Yep.
All these memory cards?
Lenses.
Yes.
Memory cards, batteries.
Anything that's camera related, it's going to invest you a lifetime. It's going to last you a lifetime.
Hopefully.
We're talking about editing softwares too.
Yeah.
Lightroom will last for a long time with every update that's happening. Lightroom is an insane editing software.
Which reminds me, actually, great segue.
Yeah.
We'll finish though.
Yes.
Lightroom's newest update introduced the denoise.
I did
switch.
not see that.
I just saw it today.
Nice.
So so if you scroll down when you're doing your picture detail and you're trying to clean up the noise, usually what I do is I turn the luminance up a little bit, and that counteracts that noise. But the denoise that's on there now, keep in mind this is technically in a beta. It doesn't say beta, but it feels like a beta because I used it on one of the car pictures that I took, specifically focusing on the darker area under the dash when I was taking the shot from the back seat, and I could see there was a bit of noise. It's because I shoot a 2000 ISO there, but these go for on our website, and the quality that goes on the website gets de-res so much that nobody would see. I just want them to be able to see a little bit of the detail. So I used it just in case to see. And what it does is it does get rid of the noise, but it blurs the image a little bit. It softens it, which is what we used to do when we would get rid of noise a long time ago, would be to soften the image. So it's AI. You guys have been hearing about this everywhere. AI. It is an AI driven.
That's a topic that
program.
We will get into.
That's going to be a whole episode.
Yeah.
This AI reads it and helps with that. So it's a great first step for them to have that on there. I think it's really cool. But yeah, Lightroom and Photoshop, that's going to be forever for sure. And DaVinci.
DaVinci Resolve.
I just switched to DaVinci. I'm not a video guy per se, but I dove into the deep end and I started doing DaVinci with that video that I showed you about the bud.
Love it. Yep.
It's complicated. It really is. I had like 15 tabs open on my computer. Like, how do I do this? How do I do that? Because I didn't want to bug you or George about it. I was like, I'm going to learn this on my own. Mistake. Ask friends. We've already talked about this in the last episode. Ask friends.
Yep.
DaVinci is dope though, and it's free. That's mind blowing to me.
You can buy the premium.
$218, $19. I think
you're paying monthly,
but it's one time.
You can pay
the one
time, yeah,
and you get the updates. Mm-hmm. But DaVinci free
is like it's pretty much Premiere.
It's so powerful. Yeah,
it's Premiere. It's Final Cut. It's whatever you want it to be. It's amazing.
There's a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
There's a keyboard that came out, and I will send you the link so you can check it out. It's a prototype right now, unfortunately, but the keys are see-through, and there's an LCD panel on the bottom. When you push the keys, the letters don't change, right? Because it pushes down, but the letters are here. You can have like color explosions going off in the background, light transitions going everywhere with it. You can have like videos being on the keyboard thing. But the best part for us, buddy, those keys being see-through, as soon as you open up Photoshop, as soon as you open up Premiere, the hotkeys are labeled.
Oh.
The cut key. So you hit Command C, you know the command, and then C, there's a cut key. Bro, and it's for Lightroom, Photoshop, and I saw it for Premiere as well. I'm sure they have one for DaVinci, a plugin, or you can create your own.
Duplicating.
It is insane.
Cutting, splicing, zoom.
Yes.
There's so many shortcuts that we don't have to really worry about.
No.
Trim, dodge and burn. If you want to edit the old way, dodge and burn.
Yeah, I'll send you that link though, so you can check it out.
That's so sick.
Because as soon as it becomes available, there's a good chance I'm going to get it. Especially doing more video editing moving forward. It's such a cool idea, and I can't believe somebody hasn't come up with it before now. But I'm glad
whoever came up with that. Amazing.
High five.
High five to you.
Probably not from somebody from Nikon's research and development.
But no, never.
Sorry, I have to say my Nikon diss for the podcast.
It's been like
been a couple episodes.
A couple episodes.
I think I made a crack with Callie though.
Yeah, you guys did. I mean, we all did.
How could you not?
How could you not? Canon shooter, Sony shooter get together. What do they do? Make fun of Nikon.
Yes. I can't wait for us to have a Nikon guest.
Are we gonna have one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We just probably won't like show the camera.
I know Bryce shoots Canon.
Good man.
So good man. Alyssa shoots Canon.
Aaron shoots
Fuji.
Yep. Trying to think.
We'll see. We might have a Canon shooter.
Man.
I mean, not Canon. Nikon shooter.
They're gonna come on and be like, so first of all,
I hate everything you said about Nikon.
Both suck, and then just get up and leave.
Yeah.
Best podcast episode ever.
it's the April Fool's joke.
Yeah, and I would clip that, and that would be on YouTube short right there. Yeah. The day our guest dissed us, like it'd be so funny. Like you showed us and our tens and tens of listeners. Congratulations, you turd.
All to say that investing in your equipment
is important.
Because
it's an investment in you.
Right.
Bags, same thing.
Yep, we talked about that in the last episode.
And you know what? Actually, it's another thing I'm so glad you brought this up. It's like a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
The straps again too. Same with the bags. One of the reasons that Mike and I like Wandered bags so much, and if you guys try to type it in, it's WANDRD.
RD, yeah.
Okay, it's not spelled like I wondered what's going on. Although I made that video too.
Nice.
The Wandered bags are really cool to us because they don't look like camera bags.
Right.
And the reason that's important to us is because we're not targeted by thieves. Okay. And
hate you thieves.
Whether you know who you are.
You know who you are.
The same thing with the straps. That's why we like Peak Design straps as well, because it doesn't label our camera.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the thieves, especially in San Francisco, 67 break-ins on average a day in San Francisco. Okay. And these are professional thieves. Yes, that is a thing. And they know if they see a strap that says Canon 5D Mark IV, they know the market value of that camera, and they're like, okay, that's an expensive camera. I'm going to look for that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're carrying around a strap that says Sony A7R5, yeah, it's almost a $5,000 camera. Yeah. They're going to know. So what I used to do with my 5D Mark IV is I actually put my Canon Rebel strap that I had on it. Nobody's going to target my Rebel T3,
Nobody's going to target that. That's like $300.
Yeah. Now a thief could look at the camera and be like, that's not a Rebel. You're a turd. Whatever. You're not going to steal it from me.
Stealing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking to steal from people. Get out of here.
It's all about smoke and mirror if you guys are trying to protect your stuff.
Yes.
You know,
the Wander bags look like travel bags, and they have the compartment of a travel bag.
So we have ones like the cream one, the cream one that I have.
I used to have a blue one.
The blue one's it's like a light blue kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron got the burnt orange one.
Nice.
He had that when we had a dinner the other day.
Nice.
which I have big news for you, by the way, buddy.
No way.
I bought a DJI Pro RS3.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, I say I bought it, but I bought it because Nissan was like, we need you to start doing videos. And I was like, cool, I don't have the equipment. Let me go buy it. And I was like, okay, I have it. Let's do this. And like, okay. And then they bought it for me. Yeah. So shout out to Nissan. Thank you for that.
So cool.
Appreciate it. But I bought it with my own money first, not expecting that. I was like, I got this. Let's make videos.
Let's do this thing.
Let's
jump down the deep end.
Happy birthday. Yeah. So, but yeah, I have it. I'm excited to use it. I met Aaron and George at Anna's Taqueria the other day for George.
Shout out to
such
them.
a good, so much good food, bro. Yeah. Oh my God. Their burritos with the consomme sauce. Okay. Not a food podcast. Anyway, I showed up and I was like, George, can you help me balance? Because it's really difficult to balance these things. And I'm talking with Aaron and catching up with him because we haven't talked in a minute. And he's got so much stuff going on. And I wanted to hear from him. And George is like, there you go. And it was all balanced perfectly. And I was like, coolsies.
You're just like, yes, it all works. How did you do
He's like, did you get that? I was like, yep.
George, if you're watching.
He's not going to.
No.
He might. Actually, he probably will to check the video quality.
Check the video. He'd be like, since I set it up at your house,
right,
it starts to look like ass now.
This dude is surgical with this video stuff. Like, I guarantee you can watch our stuff and be like, not shooting a 10-bit, huh?
I don't know what that means. Trash. I don't know what that means. I don't know. George, help. George.
I want to have George on one of our podcasts so bad, but he doesn't want to be on camera, and
we can just
talk.
We can just have him like face away and have that like distorted voice over the top. He sounds like this,
and like make him like black out, like in the crime
like
shows.
An interview. Yeah. George, if that's the way around.
George, you know what? Your expertise level is so high. I would actually pay to have you come on our. You're a friend of mine. Like, and he does things for me, and I do things for him. Not that I have much to offer him, but I do help him when I can.
He's very smart.
But he's insanely intelligent. Guys, honestly, I could go an entire episode talking about George and the things that he's done and what a good person he is. I could go an entire episode and not even have any like ADHD moments.
Yeah,
for sure. He doesn't have any social media. Oh no, that's not true. He made a Vero.
Oh hey,
he made a Vero. But he didn't post on it.
There's a lot of claps.
He made a Vero. Yeah, he made. Okay. Well, I can't find the clap one. There it is. He found it. Yeah.
Yellow.
So that's he made one, but he didn't post. He did it so that he could give me and Aaron an extra follower because he's just a good dude. I doubt he's posted anything on it though.
I doubt it.
But yeah, George.
But he did it to help out a buddy. So
right. I'm not gonna say his last name. Keep it private.
Yeah.
But just know
you're a good
George
guy.
is a good dude. Absolutely.
So what did we tangent off of?
Talking about equipment that people shouldn't skimp on, care. Get your sensors cleaned regularly.
Yes.
I'd recommend getting them cleaned, getting your sensor cleaned after any decent size shoot, like a wedding.
If you haven't done it on your cameras before, there's a setting that has a sensor cleaning.
Yes.
It just shakes. You hold it upside down, shake it. Gets rid of a lot of the dust and shit that builds up in there after a shoot. Do that before another big shoot.
Right. It's because those things that are on your sensor, they'll show up in your pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You can clean your own sensors. I know how to clean sensors. I did it for years, but it's not something that you just do.
Right.
Like I was actually stupid for trying it myself in the beginning.
Scary.
Right. Because on a DSLR, you have to lock the mirror up.
Yeah.
Right. And which obviously on mirrorless is you don't because it's a mirrorless. But yeah, you got to get in there. You have to use a very specific solution. You have to use very specific swabs to get it done because you can very easily scratch and your 2 minutes you spend cleaning your sensor could destroy your camera. And I don't mean to intimidate anybody, but I want you to know how important this is. So if you live in the Reno area or you live like in the Sacramento area or you live anywhere near a camera store, go to your camera store and ask them to do it. They're going to charge anywhere between, and I did this research too, they're going to charge anywhere between $35 to $75, depending on which camera it is. Completely worth it. Some stores even offer like a membership thing where you get like 9 cleanings and you get a 10th free or whatever. You know, like get 2 cleanings, get 1 free.
It saves you the hassle of trying to do it yourself.
And it's being cleaned by professionals. They know what they're doing. That's not to say though, like, let's say your camera has a freak out moment and like freaks out and gets Forrest Whitaker eye and like messes with the sensor or whatever. And then yay. And then your camera gets messed up. That's not on them. Like they know what they're doing. They do it all the time. Bam, 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 done, done, done. But if your camera freaks out and it gets messed up, like just know that they didn't do it on purpose. Like they don't know you. They're not going to damage your camera, but it's worth taking it in to get it cleaned.
Yes. And going back to what we talked about at the beginning, those sensors are so important to your camera actually functioning as a camera.
They're the heart.
They're the heart of the camera. They're literally in the middle. Like,
yeah,
it's the beat of the camera.
I mean, your actuation count on your camera is the same as the miles on your car.
Yep.
And they're getting so high now. On DSLRs,
it's insane.
Yeah, on DSLRs, you're looking at about 100,000, 150,000.
Yeah.
They could go much longer for sure, obviously.
Right.
Mirrorless cameras start at 300,000 actuations
that's a lot
for their life, which it's insane. Like
a lot. You'll never reach that unless you're shooting constantly for a year.
Like
and a half,
we're talking
maybe longer.
Like 4 weddings a month for years.
Yeah.
Or sports.
It's a lot of photos.
Or yeah, I mean like little family reunions with like kids running around and get like 10,000 pictures of a kid like running around in circles. Yeah.
Yeah, at the birthday party I only shot like 700 photos because I was also shooting.
Only.
Yeah, I'm going through them right now. Culling. Do you have going back to like software stuff?
Yeah.
Do you have a software that you cull from that's not Lightroom?
No. I use Lightroom because it helps catalog everything as well.
Okay. I know people that cull from different softwares and then
Bridge and Adobe Raw. There's nothing wrong with them. The thing is, it's just a different workflow. My workflow, I've tried other workflows just because I don't want to be like, oh, mine's the best, but it's just what I'm used to.
Yep.
So my workflow, it's just Lightroom for that part. And then I actually pull the images directly from Lightroom into Photoshop and then back into Lightroom again so I don't lose any quality and then export them from there.
Do the same. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, Bridge and Adobe
I know there's
Raw.
not some that aren't Adobe
There are
related, but I don't know the names of them off the top of my head.
Yeah, I like Lightroom.
Lightroom's nice.
I've been with
it's
Lightroom
pretty
since,
fast now too.
Yeah, it is. I've been with Lightroom since 4.1, so
which is pretty long ago.
2012. Yeah.
Yeah. Long time. Invest in your equipment. Invest in your software. It's so worth it.
Have you had anybody approach you and ask you to do pictures or video, and you give them your prices and they say, "Oh, that's outside of our budget," or "That's too expensive," or the blasphemous thing saying that's like you're overpriced, like there's no way you're worth that?
Not recently.
Awesome.
I would hate that so much.
It sucks.
Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty sociable when it comes to, or reasonable when it comes to my pricing. The one thing that bothers me is when they ask somebody indirectly that comes to me to shoot for them.
Oh, I
so
see.
it's like a third party situation. Right. And then I tell this person, like, this is my pricing. And then they go to them. And then it's just like a cycle that's not direct from the person.
Yeah.
I want the direct, like, let me know what your price is. And then I'll let you know what my price is. Let me know if it's too much. And then I'll work around it.
Right.
Like, especially if I know you, I'm going to give you like my normal pricing, but we're homies. Like, I can work around that.
Right. No, that makes sense.
It would bother me though if they were like, you're not worth this. I know somebody better that's cheaper.
Right.
Because then you're just like degrading them as a person, and then you're degrading. You don't want to drop your prices because you know your worth for your photos.
Exactly. Once you learn your worth.
Right.
And it's because it's genuinely insulting. Like, photography is an art. Mm-hmm. We put our time, money, and effort into it, and our time is worth something to somebody. That's
and then
why they hire us.
This is the way we make the income for equipment that we invest in.
Right.
The stuff we have is not cheap.
No.
Like, camera bodies can run up to $3,000. Lenses can run up to $1,800. Memory cards are $250.
Yeah, I mean, there's some lenses out there that are $15,000, guys.
Yeah.
There's cameras out there that are $100,000.
Yeah, a Leica, I think it's like an M6, goes for like $9,000 or $8,000.
Which is insane. Even the M1s go for that much.
Yeah.
Your Phase 1 camera is $100,000.
The Sony A1 is $9,000.
Sony, yeah, they're it's expensive, and we put the money into it because it's what we love.
Right.
But we need, genuinely, like, what it really boils down to is we need our clients' help to make sure that it pays itself off.
Right.
Really. I mean, like, even what's in this room right now, like, we have about $10,000 worth of equipment in this room just right now. And this isn't even, I would say this is maybe a quarter of my entire stuff.
Right.
And maybe about a quarter of your stuff too.
That wasn't stolen, yeah.
Yeah. Look at me knowing where that one is. Of course I know where that one is.
Of course. Yeah, it's just expensive. We put those prices out there, And we can talk about it. I think if you just communicate, like, this might be a little bit out of my price range, like, let's communicate. Let's see. Like, I don't know if you're hard stuck on pricing, but
I have a minimum.
Yes.
Kind of like tattoo artists.
Like, you're not just going to drop it like $2,000 because it's not worth it.
Because we're talking about gas and travel and stuff too.
Exactly. There's travel fees. Like, especially if it's an out-of-state thing, or if you're flying somewhere, yes, pay for my travel. Like,
right. It's
understand that there's going to be a price to booking a photographer.
Yeah. It's like I'm in a unique situation where I can make this offer to people. If you fly me out to where you are and you have a place, like you either give me a hotel room or I can crash on, your couch, I'm happy with it. But you are willing to show me around your area, I will do the photo shoot pretty much for free.
Right.
Like I'll charge like a bare minimum just so that it's in my books.
Right.
But you fly me out there and with the way prices are right now, it's comparable depending on where you are. And I think that's worth it. It's almost like an exchange in services. I'm a big fan of the barter system, really. I mean, that's how we got this.
That's how we got the studio. Yeah.
So that's just me. I'm flexible when it comes to stuff.
There's workarounds for sure.
Absolutely.
The hardest thing for me is charging the people that you know.
Yes. Because
you're like, I know you. What if I don't do a good job? You're not going to pay me the right money.
Oh yeah.
So, especially like if it's family, if it's close friends. Oof. It's so hard to charge.
It's very hard. I hate talking about money with anybody. About like finance stuff.
So hard.
Because I always feel like, oh, we're getting married. The pictures are going to be great. I'm so happy that we got DJ or Mike to be doing our stuff. I'm stoked. Then it comes to us asking for the money, and then we're like, oh man, I really hope this is worth it.
Right.
There's a lot of pressure on us too for that kind of stuff.
There is a lot of pressure.
But yeah, don't like Mike said, learn your worth, your self-worth, what you know your time is worth, and stick to that, because the clients that you build off of this are going to be your constant clients. They're going to be the people that know your level of work and are happy with it, and they're going to be willing to pay for it over and over again.
Right.
And
they'll continue to come back.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
I've known people that bump their prices so much that their clients leave.
Yeah.
Because it was just too much, and they can find people that are cheaper for almost the same style or quality. Right. Yeah.
Because, and if you guys have ever said this or heard somebody say this, or you think about saying this to a photographer, the super famous line of, oh, well, my cousin's going to do it for $100. Okay. That's fine. You're not offending me at all.
I got that recently for a wedding.
For a wedding?
Uh-huh. Negative. I was charging for a wedding. This is the indirect communication line.
Right.
So it was coming to me. I gave the pricing. I said I would work around it. Never got a response. They got their cousin to shoot the wedding. I'm not looking for judging the photos. I know I probably will, just because the person I am. Yeah. I mean, like, I could have shot that better.
Nothing wrong with looking at them anyway.
Yeah. And thinking about, I could have shot that better. But that does happen. Like, they're going to hire somebody that they know that they can get for cheaper.
Right.
But you might not get the quality that you want.
That's my response to anybody that says that is always, hey, you know what? If you can find somebody that's cheaper,
go for it.
Go about it. I hope the quality is what you want.
Yes.
And I genuinely mean that. But in the fine print of that comment is me literally saying, you're going to get what you pay for.
Yes.
And I'm not like, look, I know I sound like I'm being very conceited right now, but I've spent years building where I'm at. I know what my worth is. I know my clients. I know that I can do decent work.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the same with you. So, but we're always improving for sure. But even if I improve more, it doesn't mean I'm going to increase my prices really too much.
It's not going to go, I mean, inflation does happen. We need to pay for things too. So if we bump up maybe a couple $100, don't think that's like offensive or anything. If we bump up like $3,000,
yeah, that's a bit much.
Maybe that's a bit much.
I mean, like, so I've heard stories of celebrity photographers. They charge $10,000 just to sit down and talk with them. Oh, gosh. Which, I mean, so you guys know, I'd have to shoot 2.5 weddings to get that for my average rate. So I mean,
just to talk.
I mean, good for you, I guess. Like, and their stuff is great. Don't get me wrong. Like, all the stuff that I've seen from any of those levels, that's just absolute bangers. But that's a lot, dude. But it's celebrities too. They get paid like several $1 million for a movie. They're like $10,000. That's cute. I'll buy you Starbucks.
Right. The same way we invest our money in our equipment and our accessories and all the things that we have, It's the same with you guys investing in the photographer.
Yeah, absolutely.
The more money you pay, the better quality you're supposed to be getting.
And look at it this way. You guys listening to our podcast, this is us trying to invest in you guys too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you guys are getting into photography, model, any of the topics that we're talking about, we're offering our opinions, and you like what you hear and you use it to help build your own career. That's dope. Like I hope every single person that listens to this podcast that is a photographer becomes a better photographer than me.
Right.
I genuinely hope that.
And that should be the hope for everybody that
absolutely
that would do this.
Yeah, you shouldn't go.
I want you to be better. Yeah,
absolutely. I want you to blow me out of the water for sure.
Right.
And then I want you to be like, hey, what do you think of this picture? And I want to be like, because I dole out compliments a lot, like you, as you should.
Leave me speechless on one of your photos.
Exactly. Let me look at a picture and be like, that's okay. Like Pink.
Yes.
The singer, amazing singer. There's a singer, Davina Michelle, I think her name is.
Mm-hmm.
She did a cover of What About Us. If you guys haven't seen it, go on YouTube and look it up. It has an insane amount of views. Pink saw the video because of the amazing response, and she straight up said, oh, well, now I know what the song was supposed to sound like.
Oh, that's the best compliment you could ever get.
Bro, she literally is like, I could never sound like that. And she's like, does she make albums? And the lady in the back was like, I don't think so. She's like, that needs to change. Like that was that's like Pink's endorsement, bro. You could put something like that. You could put on your resume. Pink says I should be have an album,
and then you're set. Label. You're literally set.
I mean, it's all about the passion and the right people seeing it, and persistence.
Yes, persistence in photography.
Dark Sport talking about you.
Please.
Hey man, it's been a good time. It's 57 minutes in. Appreciate you guys sticking out this long.
Yeah.
I think I say this every time, but I think this might be the longest podcast.
The longest one.
Hopefully you guys are okay with the longer podcast. We've been steadily increasing. We're not going to go over an hour for the most part, I don't think.
For the most part, yeah.
We've been trying to keep them around 45 minutes, but we just like talking about this stuff. So
this one was a fun one. This one was very informative too.
It was a lot of good stuff. And it made me I love going back to basics.
Yes.
Makes me think all over again. So
yes, and I think we'll continue to talk about going back to basics.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. So next week, Bryce?
Next week, Bryce, I believe.
Dibbity dope.
And then we have a guest tomorrow.
That's right, we do. Kyle.
Kyle, buddy. Yep. Guest and then another guest.
Kyle is the gentleman that I replaced at Nissan as their photographer. He's the one that trained me. He moved on to a whole other thing, which is amazing for him. He's doing super, super cool things. But he's an amazing guy. He's a rock climber, a professional videographer, photographer.
Can't wait to talk about
super
this.
Humble beginnings. Cool. Dude is amazing. He has his own podcast. We're going to plug that as well so you guys can see it and listen to him.
Look forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be tomorrow. Or we're recording it tomorrow, but it'll be next week. So, and I'm super, super stoked. We're getting sushi and drinks before, by the way.
What time?
Fun fact. Well, I pick him up at the airport at 6:20.
Okay, and then we record at 8.
Yeah, which is why I talked to Joel about us going a bit longer.
Okay.
Wheeler Car Services. Look him up. Amazing.
Will be fun. I'm stoked.
It's going to be awesome.
I might come for sushi. That's for sure.
There's no might. You have to be there.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I told him you're going to be there.
Okay. Okay. I do like my sushi and I like my drinks. So
samesies.
That was fun. Follow us on socials. Definitely. Hopefully we'll have our 35mm to life social shit down.
With the logo.
With the logo.
And we'll work on an intro too.
We'll work on an intro.
Thanks for lasting this long. I appreciate you guys are amazing. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys' support, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.